to the direction of motion. Yeah. So it's going to be anti-parallel to the direction of motion. So ito yung frictional force or yung damping or yung drag force. So we'll just use FK for the drag force. Iba-iba yung notations dyan eh. So, in that case, MA is equal to minus beta V minus mg. May vector signs kasi may components na eh. Yung G, for example, is going to be G times J hat. Ang V, magiging Vxi hat plus Vy J hat and so on. Yung A, for example, magiging AXI hat plus AY J hat. Okay, so separate this into X and Y components. So write these as express as in component form. So yung X component, yung equation from the X component, what do you get? Yung equation for Y, what do you get? And then, tapos patingin. Teka, yung components. So one equation for each component. Tapos screenshot ko lang para may backup copy dun sa sa chat. Ayan. Okay? So, okay, stop share na ako ulit. So, pa-share na ulit ng screen mo. So, in component form, what two equations will you obtain?
So,
So, MAX equals
so, A, okay, ganun. Okay.
So, yung X component na equation na yan becomes MAX equals AX equals
Hmm?
mm-hmm.
MD, tapos at MBY.
Yeah. So, yung motion with when the drag force is proportional to the velocity will look like this. Nagse-separate siya into two separate equations for X and Y. Kasi walang mixing of variables ng different components, 'di ba? So pwede mong solve separately. Yung MAX equals negative B VX. Nagawa na natin yung T in terms of VX from the example. Yung MAY minus beta VY minus MG, hindi pa natin nagagawa. Okay, so gusto ko lang tingnan mo yung ano. So first, so before we continue with the general case at saka yung may motion along Y, balik tayo dun sa problem. Pigain lang natin yung lahat ng pwede natin pigain. So balik tayo sa original problem na ginawa natin, yung number 33. So go back up, tapos tingnan natin yung ano, tingnan natin yung statement do sa baba pa, ng konti. So, natakpan ba? Hindi, sige. So, isolve mo so ito, di ba? Sinolve na natin tingnan mo yung solution dito. By integrating, you can get T sub F in terms of V sub F and V sub 0. So, kung from here, it arbitrary kasi yung T sub F eh. Tapos arbitrary din yung T sub 0. Pero for now, we'll work on yung starting point, yung starting time ay 0. So, that becomes, so yung in general, negative 70, negative beta over M. So, paisulat, negative beta over M, yung abstraction na ginawa natin. Negative beta over M,
So,
diba?
dito,
Beta is 70. So, negative beta over M times T, T na lang, equals ln of V over V naught. So, arbitrary V at a later time T, tapos T yung time. Ngayon, what's V in terms of T? So, V is equal to,
physical something. Okay. Uh, hmm,
so what if ang binigay yung time? Tapos gusto natin malaman ano yung velocity.
okay. So, alam ba mo ng V not? Okay. So, ano ba?
Alam natin yung initial velocity. This time, what if ang unknown yung velocity, yung time known?
So, therefore, ano ba? Isolate. So, E to this abomination. So,
So e to the minus is, hindi, so that, gawin mo, step by step. E to
after
the
that,
minus
so,
beta over M, beta T over M equals,
okay. Kaya po. Hmm, yeah. So, dapat V0. Okay.
teka, bakit beta T over T?
HP. Okay. So, na,
So that's V.
kayo mo.
Okay. So yan yung ano no, yan yung V. That's in this case, that's Vx. Yung motion natin dito xy lang eh. So Vx is equal to V naught x. So yung generalization natin, V naught. Ngayon, what if ang yung V, remember, we're using V as velocity, not speed. Kaya mas gusto ko yung gumamit ka ng subscript, Vx. So ln of Vx over V sub 0. So instead of V, isuot mo as Vx. V sub x. Kasi x component ng velocity yan. Tapos yung initial velocity v sub 0x kasi zero component yan ng x ng velocity along x or yan yung t equals zero ng yan yung value ng velocity along ng x component ng velocity at time zero. Okay. Ngayon, Vx is dx dt. Di ba? So, integrate.
Hmm, okay. So, the classical something constant to the time e to the something. Okay,
So, dv, so,
so ano,
so yung antiderivative,
ano pa yung variable?
okay.
Variable e, yun lang pala.
So, so isulat mo siya as v0x e to the minus beta t over m equals v sub x is derivative of what?
Derivative of displacement, so dx.
Okay, dx dt. Ngayon, integrate. So, gusto natin from 0 to t final ulit.
Or something, I don't know, dami variable.
So, yun, no? Zero, so, t final. Tapos, yung initial position, x sub 0. X sub 0. Hindi pwede, huwag na i-assume na nasa ano yan. So, ang in-assume lang natin yung zero natin yung initial time. So, if you integrate that, what do you get?
You get something about an abomination, so why is it here? So, ddt. So, nilipat yung dito. Okay. So, bye.
Okay, sulat mo lang di, yan. Okay, sige. And then
So,
next slide.
integral of e. So, tapos lang, wait, ano ba po yung constant din? Yung constant is v0x.
V0x is a constant, beta and m are constants.
Di ba po pwedeng labas na tong v0x?
Pwede.
Para kasi parang sa ugly. So, yan. Ayun pala.
Kung
So,
kasi,
it's basically
kung
e
ako sa'yo, huwag mong gawin yung, kopyahin mo yung lahat ng, balik, go up. Yan, lahat ng sinulat mo na in green, kopyahin mo na. Copy. Tapos mag-new page na tayo.
modify content.
Kasi, or cut. So, new page.
Tapos na,
Tapos, huwag kang mag-skip ng steps. Isulat mo yung mga, wag kang magbula na lang tapos idilipat ng basta-basta yung mga bagay. Go to the next line.
ito
Write a new equation.
yung tama sa subdivision. Equals x, papunta f. Okay, kung steps. Ano mo nga?
So, okay. So, yung antiderivative ng 1 is x, di ba? Evaluate natin yan from x0 to xf. Hindi zero yung initial position.
Okay. This is zero.
Okay.
May ganun
So,
po.
x sub 0. May subscript lang.
How?
Ngayon, yan yung ano, yan yung right hand side, left hand side.
So, 1/2. So, kung e to the 2t, 1/2 e to the 2t. Okay, so dapat na negative L over beta e to the beta t by, okay.
Dito naman. So,
Tapos like including
Kaya
the
V0X yan. Buuin mo yung ano, buuin mo yung so V0X. Actually, pagbalik ta rin mo na yung order. XF minus X0 equals.
okay. So, pwede ko po lang di ba to? Okay. Here,
Ngayon, maglagay ka na lang ng space para klaro.
mm, space, space. There. Yung mo.
Yeah.
Son of,
Na, okay. Antiderivative is e to the minus beta t over m times negative m over beta. Tapos 0 to tf. So, if
when
you
it's zero,
substitute,
when,
uh,
when t is zero, that is, 1. Okay. So,
mm,
it still remains. Okay. So, we get, uh, what color is this one? Green.
green.
Okay. So, okay, it's green. Mm, the beta is not devolving. Over minus this one to devolving. Okay, over beta. Yes.
Bakit
Mm,
parehong minus?
di ba sila parehong minus? Wait, may minus pa din. So, there's a minus minus. So, it becomes positive. Okay, and then what happens?
Okay,
Uh,
ngayon, XF minus, tira, wag muna, balik. So, XF minus X0 is equal to that, di ba? So, ang X is equal to, I mean, X of T is equal to what?
the,
So,
yung,
X as a function of time.
okay, so, P is equal to, I think I showed the factor. Okay, so, negative 1. Hmm?
Bakit naging positive beta T over M? Okay, plus,
Basta na,
eh, may plus X sub 0 ka pa.
okay. So, ito na, alam ko ito yung book. So, meron siyang
Hindi.
exit.
So, i-box mo siya.
Ayan, so we have
So,
the X.
it's worth keeping
So,
there.
I thought sir no price. Almost. Okay, so
Yeah.
you cannot stop me, sir. No? I will not be stopped by a flash. Oh, okay.
So, yan yung general solution for motion along X. Kapag ang velocity, okay, tingnan mo yung differential equation na ginawa natin. It's the same differential equation. It's really the same differential equation kahit na moving left and right lang siya or projectile motion siya. Kaya ako pinipilit yung V0X kasi gagamitin natin yan for projectile motion as well. So, na-solve na natin yung tingnan mo, balik ka sa taas. Anong differential equation for projectile motion?
Where is the,
Hindi, bumaba.
where's the, ito ba yung for projectile motion? So,
Yes.
where is it?
Yan, di ba? So, yung x is max minus beta vx. So, solution yan yung solution for x of t, assuming ang initial position ay x0, initial velocity is v0, tapos t equals 0. So we've solved the yung first equation. Max equals,
That one. So, what's it?
diba? Hindi, kopyahin mo yung buong yung yan. Ngayon, gusto nating i-solve yung MAY minus beta VY minus MG.
Yes. Yun po yung then. Okay, so,
Okay, so may technique for that. So, pakita ko lang yung starting point. So, kaya sulat ko lang na so first wait, sorry. Um
if the, ano po, if
M,
there was resistance, this would be torture. If there was a resistance.
MAX is equal to minus beta
Kaya mo po,
VX. Kaya, kinokopya ko pa.
sige.
Hindi ko komisado yan eh.
Ah, tapos,
Tapos, MAY is equal to minus beta VY minus MG. So far, yung solution, so ang initial conditions natin, kaya solve ko lang, yun muna. Tapos para share ko after I'm done. Initial conditions are x evaluated at 0 is equal to x of 0. Vx at 0 is v sub x 0. Y of 0 is y naught, y sub 0. Vy at 0 is equal to vy 0. And then yung solution for x is x of t is equal to m v sub 0 x over beta 1 minus e to the minus beta t over m plus x of 0. Okay, ngayon share ko na. Kaya, no. The entire screen na lang. Ito.
I think yung ano po ng share shortcut is out there.
Okay, so, ito yung differential equations. Wait, let me cut this and paste on a new page. So, ito ngayon, projectile motion na with so 2D problem na siya. Tapos ang solution ng differential equation 1, ito yung solution of 1.
Hindi mo pwede i-input na lang yung equation 2, kumbaga, doon sa kanina.
Saan? Hindi. Kasi tingnan mo, panggulo yung minus mg. Hindi ka makapag-separation ng variables diyan. So, sige, so at yung differential equation. The differential equation is, so from 2, ang differential equation natin ay dvy dt is minus beta vy minus mg. You'll notice na hindi gumagana yung, kaya ba? Yeah, we can separate, can we do separation of variables here?
I mean,
Mukhang pwede, no?
pwede po, pero I think it would be rather quite tedious. But still, maybe.
Sige. So, pwede tayo mag-separation variables. I'm going to show a different technique na mas generally applicable. Na what if first order na linear. So, ang gawin natin, sulat muna natin to as dvy dt. Kasi, yung gusto, ang, kaya ako gagawin na ganito, kasi gusto ko na, what if gusto natin i-consider yung case na may plus, may arbitrary force na function of y, na function of t. The method will work kahit meron kang ganyang, kahit na yung may additional term ka pa na arbitrary function of time. As long as kaya ma-integrate. So, yan yung ano. So, what we'll do here is, first, I'm going to move lahat ng Vy on one side.
Paano pala po pagka non-integrable? Meron pa pong ano doon? Theoretically.
Hindi. Kapag ganito, yung ano yung general differential equation kasi for this type, ganito. DVD first order, ito yung ano, yung x tapos may function of time ka. Tawagin lang natin ano. So, yung general form kasi ganito. dxct plus p of t times x equals q of t. We can actually solve a differential equation of this form. So, for example, what if yung beta function of time? What if yung g function of time din? The method I'll show will work for that case as well. For those cases, hindi na straightforward yung mag-separation of variables eh.
So, baga may error resistance pa po yan, it will be even harder.
Hmm. Okay, anyway, tingnan natin yung ano. So, yung method ganito. What I want is gusto kong isulat yung left-hand side as the derivative of some product. So, yung yung itsura niya, f of t vy, di ba pag differentiate natin yung f of t v of times v, we're going to get f of t dvy dt plus the derivative of f with respect to t times v sub y. This is the product rule, di ba?
Oo.
So, what I'll do is I'm going to multiply. So, meron akong function na unknown. Imumultiply ko to both sides.
So any function mo? Parang arbitrary
Hindi.
lang siya.
It's something that we need to find. Gusto na, the function we're looking for must satisfy this na kapag multiply ko siya on both sides, the left-hand side can be written as the derivative of a product. Ngayon, if we compare, kasi ang requirement natin, derivative of a product yung left-hand side.
Mm. Okay. So, ano pala mo, yung F function appears on all sides na parang meron siyang ganun po na form. So, you will just fit
Oh,
in beta, ano ba, beta Vy over N para maging df dt.
so let's compare. Ito, yung left-hand side, okay na to, nagmamatch. Di ba? So, para maging derivative ng product, dapat ito maging equal dito. So, let's do that. So, df dt, so our function which we don't know yet, times v sub y is equal to beta over m f of t v sub y. Ngayon,
Okay.
yung v sub
Ito.
y, parehong present, so we'll just cancel that out. And then we're going to get this differential equation. df dt is equal to beta over m times f of t. So, ang importante lang kasi, di ba, para masulat natin sa product, it's important to just find a function that satisfies the condition. So, we're going to integrate to get ln of f is equal to ln of beta over m times t. Dito plus may arbitrary constant. So I'm going to choose arbitrary constant to be 0. And then from here, f is going to be e to the, yeah, may sign error, but para may sign error, plus, okay, tama. So f is equal to e to the beta t over m. Ngayon, nahanap na natin yung f. So let's go back to this differential equation. So on multiplying f, we're going to get e to the beta t over m times dvy dt plus beta over m e to the beta t over m vy, and we'll get this. Ngayon, yung vy, so yung left-hand side can be written now as d dt e to the beta t over m dv times vy. Kaya ako pinili na yung arbitrary constant 0 kasi we don't actually need that. Kailangan lang natin a function, a solution. Ngayon, if you look at this, pansin mo, mas madali nang i-integrate yung both sides. The antiderivative is e to the beta t v sub y is equal to negative g times m over beta e to the beta t over m plus an arbitrary constant. Plus, so here, if we multiply both sides by by e to the beta t, by e to the minus beta t, yeah, urong natin to. Okay na nga natin. So, multiply both sides. by e to the minus beta t over m to get. So ito, magkakansel sa e to the beta t over m plus may constant e to the beta t over m e to the minus beta t over m. And then we integrate again. So x of t, so y must be negative gm over beta times t. Tawagan itong C1. So C1 e to the minus beta t over m. And then dapat mag-pick up tayo ng factor na negative m over beta. So that pag differentiate babalik tayo dito. Plus another arbitrary constant C2. So dito, yung general solution ay ito.
Arbitrary constant po kailangan po hanapin or hindi na po?
Kung gusto mo ng kung i-fit mo na to find the arbitrary constants.
Set yung mga strategic po to zero. Mga say po yung
Uh,
negative beta t over n magiging 1.
so ito, set t equal to 0. Alam ko na kung bakit wala. Hindi nag-fail yung eh. Teka, basahin mo na maigi yung problem.
Cut off po yung engine. So, it's not moving forward.
Mhm. Tapos, tingnan mo yung what's different about this problem?
May ano yung speed tsaka friction.
So yung friction hindi na mu and f. It's 70 times, it's some constant times the velocity. Kailangan mo isulat yung equation. So ano yung, from Newton's first law, ano yung force, yung, yung net force. Nagawa mo na ba to or hindi pa?
Gawa ko na po. Okay.
So patingin.
Ayun. Pinipati ko. Mhm.
So yung initial na speed ay 90 kilometers per hour. Kailangan niya. Kailangan lang natin yung time eh. That's 70 beta is 45 and
So,
it's
15. Going down. So, 15. So, V. Okay. So, there again. Mhm. There po.
na yan na naman tayo yung forces eh, di ba? So, Newton's second law, pakisulat na. So, MA is equal to Tapos ano yung force? It's, anong,
So, ano po na? Exit.
mhm. Okay. Yan. Ah, sige. So, hindi natin kailangan yung MAY equals FN minus MG kasi zero lang yung AY eh. Tapos, hindi, we don't need the normal force here, di ba? So, MA is equal to negative 70V. Hindi pwedeng positive 70V yan kasi kailangan nagsa-slow down siya as you move to the right. So, yung FK is magnitude. Okay, so MA is equal to negative 70V. What can we do from there?
Mm, over. Mhm. That's how na to. So, so bago yung B, dito mo. Maybe.
So if MA is equal to negative 70V, ano ba yung relationship? Ano ba yung relationship ng velocity at acceleration?
So, ano po natin? Pwede. So, parang
Mhm.
isa sa wait lang ah.
Kaya,
Right?
mali. Velocity is not dv/dt.
Yan.
Mhm.
Depende. Baliktad mo. Baliktad na dapat. Depende.
Ano ba yun? Damped.
Wait. So, sasakto yata po. Is equal to B is B equals B 0 over B na over.
Hindi, solve mo muna in terms of variables, no? Tapos, wag mo munang i-assume na half. Just call it V and V naught. So that's just going to be ln of, or integral from V naught to V. Kasi yun yung starting. Okay, and then that becomes Bakit T? Ba't negative 70 over M lang? Di ba nag-integrate ka?
Pero kasama po siya.
Hindi, yung ano, 0 to T dt. Tapos, tapos ano yan dummy variable of integration na yung dt dyan. Or kung gusto mo, kung ayaw mo na ano, T final. 0 to T final, V naught to V final. Para hindi magulo. TF, tsaka VF. Walang TF, yung DT variable of integration yan. So wala dapat yung TF. DT lang yan. In the same way na dV over V yung right hand side. Nag-separation of variables tayo eh. So we're distinguishing between yung parameters na 0 to T sub F tapos yung variables of integration of V at saka T. Or, kung gusto mo, pwede mo tsagain ano ba yung general solution yan. Tapos nun, ano yung arbitrary constants and then solve for the arbitrary constants. Pero it's really going to be, you'll get the same thing kapag ginanyan mo. Okay, so integrating both sides, ano makukuha mo? This was in 1960.
Yung anong integral ba ng t, ito siya yung 1. Yata. Uh, over v. So,
Teka, hanapin ko yung ano, copy. Hindi, tama yung right hand side. Pero ano nangyari sa left? Bakit negative 70 over M lang?
the so, tama. Okay. So, ano, English din. So, okay. So, nga lang pwede yan.
Okay.
Okay. So, kapila lang. Okay.
So ngayon, substitute na ng or isolate T sub F. Bakit ln of 2? Final velocity is twice the initial velocity. Okay, ngayon pa i-compute. Ilang seconds yan?
Could be mga 10 seconds. So, 9 point, ayun, 9 point. Okay.
Okay.
That's it.
O
Yeah.
sige, ngayon, before we move on to the next thing, so ito, share ko yung screen ko. I-generalize lang natin ng konti. December 3 ngayon, no? So, ito. Okay. So, paano kung ganito? So, yung generalization, may ano eh, yung wind, supposedly, ganyan yung behavior na yung acceleration, yung frictional force due to the wind is equal to negative beta times the velocity. So, proportional siya sa velocity, tapos in the direction opposite to the velocity. Kaya ganyan yung minus sign. So, yung subukan lang natin yung there's something thrown upward, may initial velocity from the ground, thrown upward, and then it's going to fall down, di ba? So, is it possible to get, so ito, magiging, yung friction is going to be negative beta times v. So, we can write down a differential equation for y versus t. So, pwedeng paki-set up. Ano dapat yung ano? So, dito, consider lang natin yung case na a stone or an object is thrown upward, tapos ganito yung frictional force or yung resistance due yung wind resistance.
Yung so,
So beta is a parameter, it's a fixed constant. So kung assuming na one-dimensional motion along y yan, ano yung differential equation? Tapos patingin or pa-share ng screen.
so,
D square y.
so,
Para mas, yeah, hindi, sige, iwanan natin as beta na lang yan.
so, okay, so, meron siya equals ano.
Kaya na, hindi ko pwedeng idiretso ng ganyan yan. Ano ang forces kapag may object na thrown upward?
Hmm. Okay, so, wait lang po.
Masyado ako nagmadali. So, M So as it's when it's ano yan ang assumption dito binitawan mo na. So it's now moving on its own. Ano siya eh, di ba yung problem na no air resistance? What we're doing now is paano kung may air resistance? So pag walang air resistance, ano yung itsura ng ano? Ano yung free body diagram?
Yun mo.
Bakit may F? When a
Nakita mo,
stone is thrown, hindi, wala, ang assumption dito ay it left your hand already. So may initial velocity, tapos the only force acting would be, so may gravity. Pagka walang ano yan kapag walang, ang tawag dito, walang air resistance. Eh kung may air resistance na,
may konting ano, drag.
okay, ah, so ano yung drag force?
Drag force.
Di ba? Oo. May sinabi na ako, di ba? Yung friction is beta V.
Okay. So, friction with air.
Oo nga. So, drag force yan. So, yan, pag moving upward, it's going to be FK na ganyan yung direction. May two cases yan eh. So, mag-going ka ng velocity vector. Ngayon, pag moving downward, ganyan yung direction. Kaya pansin mo, yung friction, may sign dependence. It's always opposite to the velocity. So pwede mo i-take into account yan in your starting equation. So using Newton's second law, ano ngayon yung force equation muna. So MAY equals,
Dalawa po na. Baka na ito maybe. So, this is one scenario.
actually, sige. So, MAY, so first scenario, MAY is equal to, ngayon, yung FK is equal to beta V niyan. That's beta times speed. Walang sign yan eh. So gusto natin na may sign. So kung gusto natin ng velocity, tawagin mong Vy. What is Fk in terms of beta and Vy?
No. Okay. So, for this scenario, the B is the upward speed. Yes, the B is upward somehow. Okay, so
So minus mg minus,
sa kabila, balik ko pala. So,
gawin mo yung variable na Vy para velocity siya. Wait, the velocity is positive. Vy is positive pag ganyan.
It's better have to be ano mo.
Beta is a positive number.
So, mm, bakit? Why?
Okay, so MAY is equal to minus MG minus beta Vy. Ngayon, yung other case naman, teka, beta is positive, Vy is anong direction?
Negative.
So Vy is negative, so beta Vy is negative. Pero yung friction, anong direction?
Going, going upwards.
So para maging going upwards yan, Vy is negative, beta is positive, what do we have to do there? So minus beta Vy. Compare mo yung dalawang equations for both cases. Pareho lang, di ba?
Okay. So, binigyan ako ng ano, ng ano ba, sign yung speed na naging velocity.
Oh, hindi.
So,
Kasi velocity yan eh. Kaya ako sinulat, kaya pansin mo yung pagkakasulat ko dun sa ano na yung force ay negative beta. Tingnan mo yung sinulat ko na ano, yung starting. FK vector. So, ang tamang state, yung sinulat ko kung kanina, kung di mo napansin, is FK vector, may vector sign sa taas, equals beta and then vector sign.
kita mo?
May vector sign dyan at may vector sign sa V. So, yung lalabas niyan is FK is equal to beta tapos may negative sign. Dapat. Kasi dapat opposite, di ba? The direction of the velocity. So, dapat negative beta V. So, lagyan mo minus sign yan. So, dun sa, yung vector equation, FK is equal to negative beta V.
Yes, ito to. Okay, sabihin ko.
Hindi, wag mong lagyan ng, walang ano yan, walang vector sign yan. Component na lang yan eh.
Hmm.
Ang ipinag-uusapan ko yung vector equation for the friction. Yung before that. Yung naka-blue, yung yan. So, dapat may minus sign yan para mag-match. So, the drag force is negative beta. Beta is a positive constant, v is the velocity. So, kapag sinulat mo ngayon yan in components, okay, anong vector equation? MA. Ne, sulat mo yan sa vector equation. So, sa baba, bago ka mag-solve, MA vector.
So, and, ayun ko man,
Okay,
ayun.
sulat. So, yan. So, yung vector equation is MA equals negative beta V vector. May vector sign yan. Plus, minus pala, kasi MG eh. Vector sign. May vector sign sa G. Okay, in component form, ano yan? Kaya, pa-copy yun.
So, yung pwede ko yun.
Hindi. Yung yan, yung ginawa natin yung case na ang velocity is only along Y. Nag-assume tayo na nung winner count yung free body diagram is Ganyan. Bakit kasi yung MA is equal to negative beta V minus mg. So share ko yung ano niya. Ang window na nga lang, mas madali. So, ano window? Tayo mag-share. Tapos gusto ko yung built-in display. Ito. So, share ko lang yung screen ko. Okay, so kailangan nating mahap yung arbitrary constants. So, gamitin yung initial conditions. So, from initial conditions, we can find the arbitrary constants by, okay, Vy0 or V0y na lang, I think. So, y component of the velocity at time 0 is negative g m over beta plus e to the minus beta t over m at 0 is c sub 1. Tapos, yung other initial condition is y0 is equal to negative, ito t equals 0, so mamamatay yung first term. Yung makukuha natin yung c1, e to the minus beta t over m magiging 1, tapos minus m over beta plus c2. So, we have two equations with two unknowns. Yung unknowns, ito, yung V0y at saka Y0, ina-assume yan na given. So you should be able to solve for C1 and C2 using
Okay.
this method. Ano yan eh, medyo tricky siya. So, yung gusto kong gawin mo niyan eh, gawin mo siya independently. I-screenshot ko lang kung ano so far yung ginawa natin. Tapos gusto ko na ano mo siya, gawin mo siya i-rewrite mo siya na mas maayos.
Ginagamit na po ang OS. Linux po.
Ah, yeah. Sulat ko lang yun, or send ko lang yung so ito yung first page. Yung second page, ito. Tapos tingnan mo yung i-compare mo yung graph ng position versus time. So yung gusto kong maging homework, gusto kong gawin mo niyan ay i-solve mo yan. Tapos pili ka ng initial conditions. Ito. Oh, wait, this is 11:19, no? So it should be, teka, magulo na. Mm-hmm. Ito. Okay, share ko ulit. Window na nga lang. 23-12-03. Ito. Okay. So, yung gusto kong gawin mo, tas an exercise ganito. Yun. Okay, yung exercise kasi, or yung gusto kong gawin mo, alam natin kung ano yung magiging motion kapag walang damping. It's going to be parabolic. Kasi may binigay na initial conditions. Pili ka. Something that's easy to graph na V versus T. Na X versus T. Na X,
Uh, negative,
hindi. Mas maganda trajectory. Y versus X. So,
negative,
graph mo yung Y versus X sa, so, graph mo yung Y versus X. You can make a table. Evaluate mo lang, ito, yung no drag. Tapos, tingnan mo ano mangyayari kapag binabago-bago mo yung parameter na beta over M. Yan lang naman yung pwedeng magbago eh. So beta over M, call it some constant alpha. And then, ang mangyayari niyan, so it's now a parameter. Tingnan mo ano nangyayari as you change the value of alpha. So, yung cases na alpha goes to zero, you should get yung limiting case kasi, di ba? When the drag is zero, you should get yung ordinary projectile motion. So, using the general solutions, check, do we actually get yung the usual na projectile motion kapag alpha goes to zero? So, alam natin, dapat mag-match yan. Tapos, for alpha not equal to zero, do some sketches or do some plot mo kung ano mangyayari sa actual position versus time. So, malamang ganito magiging itsura niyan eh. So, kung ito, y versus x kapag walang drag, ito kapag may drag. And then see, dapat yung expectation natin as alpha approaches infinity, so
no,
alpha goes to infinity, dapat sobrang laki ng drag, mag hindi na siya gagal. Baka hindi na siya gumalaw. Okay?
no,
So yun lang, yun investigate mo using mag-graph ka. Choose some values. For example, yung alpha equals 0, alpha goes to infinity, ganyan. Or alpha large, or gawin mong slider.
okay. So, anong,
Hindi, hindi mo pa siya magagawa kasi kailangan mong ayusin yung ano niyan eh, na yung x versus t, y versus, kasi so far, ang meron tayo ay x versus t, y versus t.
so what is y in terms of x yung mga, yung bang?
Hindi, wag mo siyang gawin na y in terms of x.
Ano po?
Mag-numerical, mag-substitute ka ng t, gawa kong table.
Hmm, yun lang po. Sino yung,
Pero pakita mo yan next time.
abo,
Kasi ano to eh, slightly numerical, graphical problem eh, na yung evaluate mo yung trajectory para ma-compare mo sa node lag by changing the parameter beta over m. As beta goes to zero, lag force is zero, di ba?
abo,
Beta goes to infinity, lag force becomes
so,
larger and larger.
abo,
Okay? So, for next time yan, you'll have a week para paglaruan yan.
abo. Ito
Make
nga,
sure na alam mo yung paano gawin yan. That's actually lumalabas yan sa sa third, sa kailan ba lumalabas yan? Physics 121. So usually lumalabas yan third year na mechanics course. Doon,
abo.
doon nagpapakita yan.
Ano ba yung, so, give, nakuha na po yung, yung x of t, tsaka y of t. So, pag, kailangan ko pa rin hanapin po sa mga, ano po, ng mga constant.
Mm.
So, paste din po yung mga constant. So, I need to find it.
Oh, so kailangan mo ng time na isulat yan na solve for the arbitrary constants. And then, once meron ka ng x versus t and y versus t na kumpleto, plug in mo isolve mo rin yun. Tingnan mo rin yung kailangan mo i-check rin yung limit as beta goes to zero and see na kaya magre-reproduce na kayang i-reproduce yung projectile motion na without drag. Okay,
Opo.
so let's now go to the next problem. So number 35 sa Young and Friedman.
About Resnick. Okay. So,
Sorry, Resnick. So
ay, grabe. Ayaw na mag-screenshot. Ano daw? So, may, ano, are not attached to the channel. Okay.
ay, sorry. Ito pala. Before we do this, yung 34. Yung mga
Oh,
three dot, hindi dapat sila pinapalagpas eh.
oh no. 3 dot. Ah, okay. That's fine. So, there's a drag force in the next section. So, mm,
So, unahin palagpasin nyo, no? Yung 34.
where am I?
Ginawa, alam ko, ginawa ko to, ginawa natin to, pero, mostly ako kasi nag-workout eh. So, this time, subukan mo naman.
So, slab daw something mass. Rest on something floor. Okay. Frictionless. And then the floor is moving. Wait,
Ano
okay.
yan?
Wait a moment. So, slab. Which one by slab? Oh,
So,
okay.
yung slab,
Slab ito. Tapos,
oo.
this is the block. Okay. So,
Mm-hmm.
block, the block is moving somewhere on the slab. Okay. Ah, okay. So, the slab is not moving. Oh, it's
At the
moving.
start.
It's not
Hindi,
moving.
tinan mo, a slab of mass, kaya, a slab of mass M1 rests on a frictionless floor. Yun. So, the coefficient of static friction is 0.6. The coefficient of kinetic friction is zero point 0.4. A horizontal force of magnitude 100 newtons begins to pull directly on the block as shown.
Ah,
Okay, yung gusto nating i-analyze ganito, kaya gusto kong i-ano natin to kasi yung ang gusto nating i-examine na behavior ay later, paano kung yung 100 newtons ibang value? What if 10 newtons lang? What if 1,000 newtons? How
theoretically,
does the problem change?
pagka less friction, ay, less force, dapat, hindi halos gumalaw pa yung slab.
Hindi. Ano yan eh. Kasi tinan mo, bakit may coefficient of static at kinetic friction?
Sabihin, there's a point na static lang po siya. There's a point din ng kinetic, like
Okay. There's a point na static yung friction between M2 and M1. Okay, what does that mean? Kung yung friction between the two is static, does that mean pwede bang gumalaw sila kahit na static yung friction?
Uh, yes. I think the slab can move. Both of them can move because
Kapag
it's maybe parang
kung
ganun.
kapag static yung friction. So
This,
ano yung kapag static yung friction between the two at tapos gumagalaw sila, ano yung nangyayari?
parang isa na lang po siyang ano, parang ganun. Isa na lang po
So
siyang,
isang object traveling as one object, walang relative motion between the two, di ba? Or
mawo.
walang sliding. Tapos kapag kinetic, ang mangyayari, nagsa-slide yung pwedeng magkaroon ng sliding between the two. Okay, sige. So,
So there's the thing.
60
Uh,
times 10. Okay.
the pushing because uh yeah, 1 G.
Okay. Ngayon, so we're pulling in this direction. So yung friction. So ang assumption natin dito starting from rest, yung dalawa. Kasi magulo talaga siya kapag hindi siya starting from rest.
Okay, so umihila pala si F sa ano, block, not on the slab. So, yun ba siya?
F. Tapos ito, yung forces.
Okay, so F friction, pag ano, I think. Yes, tapos ang
Okay, so
reaction, uh, ano ba?
M1, M2.
Okay. So, pag ano pala yung turn like flash. So, ano ba yung person? Ayan.
C
So,
plus 2.
mm, it be better instead. Mm-hmm. Goes that way in analogy. So,
Yeah. So, yung unknowns natin.
okay, so kung ano, dito. Tama.
To,
I think. Tama yata po. Tama po. Yung kung ganito yung friction, pabalik.
okay, yung friction is, so pag hinila natin, yung friction to resist, diba, dapat pag ganyan, yung going to the right. Ngayon, ano naman yung forces dun sa slab?
Force on the slab, yung normal
Ah,
force of gravity and whatever the block is exerting on it.
okay, ngayon, yung force exerted by the block,
That's friction.
is, ganito, yung forces from the block, so may forces from the block na along the So, tingnan natin. Yung forces on the block along the vertical, ano-ano?
Force on the block. Okay, so may extra na, there's an extra weight.
Okay, so may weight acting on the block. Ah, hindi. Huwag muna.
Oo.
Tingnan mo natin yung slab, yung box muna, yung block muna. So, may force from gravity, which is m2g. Ngayon, may normal force acting on the block. Ano nag-exert ng normal force on the block?
It's the slab, not the
The slab,
floor.
not the floor. Ngayon, punta tayo sa slab ngayon. Ano yung forces acting on the slab?
It's gravity and also the block's gravity and the normal force and whatever the block is doing. So let's say like may friction nga mo. It should reflect on the slab.
Okay, so yung vertical forces would be yung normal force from
So
ano yung mga forces acting on the slab?
normal force from the floor.
Ano pa?
It's gravity and yung ano nga po, yung gravity ng block.
Hindi hindi pwedeng mangyari na gravity from the block. There's no
Parang,
such thing.
parang yung exerted force from its weight.
No. What kind of forces does the block exert on the slab?
Wala. Okay, so to that mo yun, downward.
Ano yung downward force na yan?
Mm, dapat gravity nga po eh, pero there is no such thing na ano.
Hindi pwedeng hindi gravity yan. Ganito. Tingnan mo yung sa gravity, yung gravitational force on the block. Ano yung ka-third law pair niyan?
Yung normal force.
No.
Oops.
What causes the gravitational force on the block?
Gravity mo.
Gravity of
Gravity of what? The earth mo. So dito. The
the
whole
whole
earth.
earth, which means ang pinanggagalingan ng force, na gravitational force on the block is the whole earth. What does Newton's third law say?
So the earth must exert somewhere, okay?
So
So
the earth is, we know the earth is pulling down on the block with the force of m2g. So by the third law, saan nag-act yung ano, yung
on the
ka-third
slab.
law partner niya?
On the
Ano?
slab. On the slab.
No. Ano, pwede pa-state ulit. Ano ba yung Newton's third law?
Yung ano po nung any exerted force on an object will
If hindi lang if an object. If a force, it
is
acts on an object A
that object A will exert an equal and opposite force
on,
on the whatever is acting on it.
so hindi, isulat mo, write it down. If an object A exerts a force F on an object B, then B will exert an equal and opposite force on A. Okay, ngayon, tingnan natin yung how that works for gravity. If an object A exerts a force, so ano yung object B muna? The object B is going to be, so let's note, object B
Earth.
is the block.
Sige ba? So, ito yung block. And then, tapos yung dito, black. Ito yung earth. Tapos
So
ang
exerts a force F on another on the block B. On the block diba?
kabo.
Then
The block will exert an equal and opposite force on the earth. Hmm.
yes, the
Okay.
whole earth. So yung ka-third law partner niya nasaan?
Wait, but the slap is preventing it from exerting it direct.
Hindi. Yung gravitational force is long range.
Okay. So,
So for example, may dalawang planets. Yung sun at saka yung earth. The gravitational force on so the sun is pulling the earth towards the center of the sun.
kabo.
The gravitational force from the sun pulling the earth towards the center of the sun. From Newton's third law, hindi, sige, try mo yun. The gravitational force of the sun, hindi, write it down. The gravitational force of the sun is pulling of the sun or from the sun, sige, is exerting a force on the earth.
Exerted on the earth.
On the earth. This force is towards the center of the sun. Okay, from Newton's third law, so your next sentence, from Newton's third law, what can you conclude? The gravitational force of the earth is exerted on the tapos is on the sun tapos in what direction?
Yan ito yung tamang, alam ko, like the convention. Anyway, so,
Teka, di ba equal and opposite?
okay lang. Wait,
So
it's like,
so kung exerted towards the center of the sun yung gravitational force from the sun, anong direction yung gravitational force from the earth?
away from the center of the sun.
Towards, so from the center of the sun towards, ayan, the center of the earth. Di ba? Ngayon, sun and earth yan. Palitan mo yung sun ng black.
Okay, so let's say this one. Where's the rectangle tool?
Hindi, new line, wag mo nang burahin yan. Iwan mo siya. Ngayon, in comparison, yung block ng problem natin is experiencing a gravitational force from the earth. So the gravitational force of the earth is exerted on the block.
Na linear.
So yung gravitational force wala siyang paki dun sa slab. So the gravitational force from the Earth, which is mg pointing downward, or m1, m2 ba yung notation mo for the slab? For the block?
So
Okay, so
M2,
okay, m2g. Yan yung gravitational force from the Earth. So from Newton's third law, nasaan yung ka-third law pair niya? Saan nag-act yan?
on the block.
Hindi, on the block yung gravitational force na downward.
On the
Third
earth.
law.
On the earth pala yung it's
Saan sa Earth?
the core of the earth.
Sa
So,
center ng
oh,
Earth.
oh,
So it's acting on the whole Earth. Tapos yung effectively, it's acting at the center of the Earth. May ano yan eh, may theorem na pag extended object na yung it's as if it's acting as a point mass. Tapos the force is towards the center of mass. For Earth, it's approximately at the center of the Earth.
oh,
Yan. So tingnan mo, yung ka-third law pair ng mg is nowhere on the slab. It's actually on acting on the center of the Earth. Balik tayo dun sa ano. Balik tayo dun sa slab at saka ano. So, ang ka-third law pair ng M2G is actually acting on the whole Earth. So ano
no,
yung ka-third law pair ng normal force?
it's also acting on the earth.
What is pushing the
The
block
slab.
up?
So the slab is the one that's pushing the block up, not the.
Not
So
the Earth.
so there's an extra
So,
on the slab by the block
the baba, diba?
here. Mm,
So, and it's of the same magnitude. So usually, pwedeng mo isulat yan as Fn2 na rin. Tapos yung Fn1, okay, yung Fn1 dyan, where does that force come from?
the earth spawn, yun na yung floor. So earth na yun.
So from the floor, hindi from the earth. It's just from the floor. Ano yun eh? Remember, yung normal force is a contact force between two surfaces. So another contact force between two surfaces is friction. Ano yan eh, kailangan mo, so para ma-analyze mo na maayos, kailangan mo talagang pag-isipan yung ano yung ka-third law pair ng bawat force na ginagawa ko dito. Kasi pag hindi mo pag-isipan ng maayos yan, magkakamali ka. Kaya siya
Opo,
3 dot. Yan yung reason. So tutuloy natin to next meeting kasi sa Sunday next meeting, next Sunday kasi kulang na yung oras eh, 7:02 na.
opo,
Okay? Pero tricky yan eh. Kaya siya worthwhile na gawin kasi yung mga issues na ganyan, yung understanding Newton's first law, second law, third law, hindi siya magagawa without a good understanding of that. At
opo.
friction. Kasi panggulo pa yung nature ng static at saka kinetic friction. Kasi kailan ba static friction yan? Kailan ba kinetic? Yung expectation ko kasi, ganito. Naalala mo yung table, pag masyadong malaki yung force ginamit para hilahin yung object sa taas, magsa-slide dapat yung second mass, di ba?
Opo,
From common experience.
opo.
Pero, if the force is small, it's possible na sabay
Parang
silang
it will
gumalaw.
get stuck. parang yung ano po yun, yung parang tagan yung tagan it will get parang yung ano po na yung parang gecko na yung ginawa na tape. Yung tape po. Actually, tape na pwede rin po na yung parang ano yung tagan yung gecko nga na tape. It's just para ma-prongs on yung surface. So, it's just static
So,
friction.
hindi, yan. So, pag ganon, o sige, sige. Anyway, sige. Pag-iisipan natin uli ito this coming Sunday. So, for Thursday, balik calculus tayo. Okay? Kaya ano yan eh, kaya worthwhile na pag-isipan yung mga gaytong problems. Kaya ano eh, yung experience ko talaga, yung experience ng marami, in terms of yung conceptual difficulty, mas mahirap yung Newtonian mechanics kaysa yung first na electromagnetism course,
Wow.
as strange as it may seem. Yung electromagnetism course, ang problema ng mga tao niyan, math.
So, mga Maxwell equation.
Oh, pero kung in terms of pag marunong ka ng math, hindi siya ganun kahirap. Kaya ano yun eh, kaya ang ginagawa natin ngayon ay we're taking our time with Newtonian mechanics kasi mahirap talaga siya. At magre-relativity pa tayo before we actually do electromagnetism.
So,
So medyo iba yung order natin kasi tinatry kong gawin na by the time mag-electromagnetism na tayo, may vector analysis ka na. So mas so yung math hindi na mahirap.
opo.
Okay? So we'll stop here and I'll see you again on Thursday. Bye-bye.
Okay po. Thank you po. Bye-bye po. Okay, understand.